need your help.
Storm's getting worse.
Our exploratory diving bell
Yes, Cape the Mummy is here in Perry.
Wong and his assistant Mary Nelson have vanished from
Our
the
computers indicate that whatever caused it came from somewhere in the Pacific. We'll start searching that area immediately.
What's up, everyone? Hello, ledgelords, ladies, and gender-fluid friends of any persuasion. My name is Mark, and I am joined by both Lexi. Hi, Lexi. Oh, sorry. Try one more time.
Hello.
And also by Yakamoto Joe. Hello, Joe. Oh, now he's muted. You're on mute. I see you talking. You're definitely on mute.
Okay, here we go.
There we go. Yay, technology.
I'm here. Are we doing video? No video, just audio?
No, I'll throw you in the video in a second, but you weren't here, so I couldn't draw you in before I started.
Oh,
so
I gotcha.
I'll draw you here in just like 2 shades.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hello.
Hello and welcome. It is time for the September State of Play from PlayStation. And I mean, Tokyo Game Show is around the corner, so I'm actually kind of surprised that they are doing this now. I would have thought that they would have actually made all the announcement at Tokyo Game Show and then had another one afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything's just kind of out the window these days. I mean, coming out of COVID and everything, it's just cuckoo crazy pants. Everyone's just releasing stuff whenever they feel like they need to now, which, I mean, cool, but now we're all just, I mean, like, I woke up yesterday and it was like 800 different messages. It was like, oh my God, there's a Nintendo stream, and now there's a PlayStation State of Play. Holy crap, just,
And we got a Crisis Core launch trailer today, or Crisis Core trailer as well. You don't happen to have a green screen or like AI on your camera that does green screen, do you, by chance?
I might.
Because if you do, that would be phenomenally helpful. Otherwise, I will make us smaller, and I will make the State of Play bigger or smaller also. So
you know what? I might, but I don't. It might be something
that's okay. I can make it smaller. So
yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. But yes, so we literally have no idea what we're going to see on this. I'm imagining we will see some new games that were probably set to be announced at Tokyo Games Show. I'm also really hoping to see something on Wolverine, because we got nothing from D23 for Wolverine. They announced it over a year ago. So I mean, even if it's early footage, so we get some kind of idea what the game is like.
And that's Square, right? Or
No.
Eidos? No,
it is Sucker Punch.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So that fits in with all of the scuttlebutt from yesterday and today, where they say that a AAA title is scheduled to get announced today. But I mean, literally every single one of these State of Plays has been the same thing, where the rumor mill sets the bar way up here, and it's like, hey, check out our 14 new VR games that we're going to talk about. I'm like,
pretty
that's
much.
sad.
Yeah, and I do expect there to be a lot of, unlike other conferences, I do expect to see quite a few different VR games at this one. Unlike the last several where there have been like none, I expect that we actually will get some VR games from this one. Mabes Utopia, what's up? Hello there, friend. No, Min, I was just saying that don't check in again tonight when we stream the second time, since there's no way to stop that. Maeve, that is Lexi's avatar.
Hello.
She is not sure what she's going to see on the State of Play. We actually need to catch up on the Nintendo one since I guess the Harvestella demo dropped for Switch. So we'll need to check that out. I need to check the Crisis Core trailer as well, and Breath of the Wild 2: Tears of the Kingdom, I believe it's called.
Yeah, something like that. I was kind of hoping for like a weird, kind of like BOTW, but this doesn't roll off like Breath of the Wild.
I'm just hoping it doesn't turn into Tears of the Consumer.
Well, I mean, if I can go back to my curmudgeony Joe,
always.
I mean, I have feelings on Breath of the Wild, so I mean.
Oh, really? I loved Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
I mean, I will say that I cheesed the game. I bought an amiibo spoofer.
Oh,
so
okay.
that it made it tons easier because I could just look. Here's Master Sword every day because
Gotcha.
I could just
Okay.
spoof the ultra rare amiibos that gave you good things in the game.
Maybe that's the way that I needed to play it because I just felt like I had never played a game before that hated me so much. It was like,
Oh, really? I don't think it's that bad.
That game had such little respect for my time, and it was just like, you guys wanted a Morrowind type Zelda game. Well, here you go, and you just hate play it the entire time. It's like, oh, you whack something 3 times. Oh, your stick broke. Sorry, buddy. Go get 5 more sticks. Like, oh, and then the what is it? The little Koku nuts or whatever. You go and get those, and what do you get for it? A literal piece of crap. It's just like, oh, that's how I feel. I feel like a big old piece of crap for collecting all these things.
Joe, you are cracking my wife up right now.
Good.
I don't feel it was quite that bad. I mean, but I mean, that's the genre of the game also. So I don't know that you can.
I guess, but I mean, I'm just like, I felt like, like with a game, that's Morrowindy-esque.
No, it's survival game, right? That's what it is. It's Nintendo's real first foray into survival mechanics in a video game. You have to consume food, you have to cook things. And
Sure.
I get what you're saying. You just wanted Zelda. And instead you got survival-y thing, and I get that.
Well, I mean, no, that's not entirely true. I mean, I did want something that was like a Morrowind or Skyrim type Zelda game, but I just, with everything breaking and you constantly having to.
Well, but that's exactly it, right? When you say Skyrim or Morrowind, that is just a straight RPG. No survival elements, no breaking of stuff like that. It's like you can Fusro Da all day long as long as you got the magic to do it. Your voice isn't going to break from doing it.
There are no lozenges or anything.
No, Dragonkin lozenges. Yes.
Fusro.
Damn it! Now I got to make another shirt. But yes, we've got 3 minutes till it starts. I have no idea what to expect. I expect to see probably a lot of PSVR 2 games. Hopefully we'll friggin' get to see the actual headset, get a date and a price. I mean, I know we've seen like little snippets, but they've never.
What headsets?
It's the PlayStation VR 2.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, and there are pros and cons with it, right? Like, it's a closed ecosystem. All the people who want to hate on Apple for creating closed ecosystem, let's talk about Sony's PlayStation VR ecosystem. It is completely closed. Now, is there anything stopping you from taking it and plugging it into your computer and using it that way? No. And this has really been like the crux of the thing is I used all of the previous generations of VRs. And I'll be damned if that PlayStation headset was the heaviest, but it was the most well-balanced and well-engineered headset out of all of them. So it was the most comfortable for long play sessions. And that frustrated me to no end because the Vive is way cooler and it has like an open ecosystem.
Especially now.
Yeah. But yeah. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with this. So I imagine we'll get some of that. I'm expecting one maybe 2 real big announcements. Perhaps, if we're really lucky, a little bit longer dive into Final Fantasy Remake Part 2.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But I just get the feeling that we're going to see something on Wolverine. But that's not that wouldn't be a AAA announcement, right? So I don't know what that could be. Killzone's probably due.
Oh, you think they're gonna? Have they said that they're gonna? Because I thought that it didn't seem like they ever wanted to revisit Killzone again.
I mean, I have no idea what it could be, to be honest.
I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get. I feel like we're gonna get like a super deep dive of God of War because they need to start the hype train for that. I mean, it doesn't feel like. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like they've. I still, as of today, even though it's supposed to be coming out soon, I still don't believe that game's coming out because they really haven't hyped it. You know, and I don't know.
I'm right there with you. Actually, I feel the same way. Maeve says I want more PS5 horror games instead of VR.
I'm right there with you, Maves.
I think what you're going to get, Maves, is you're definitely going to get like a Last of Us Part 1 relaunch extravaganza during this too, because they want people to go out and buy the PS5 version, even though it's the exact friggin' same game that they had on the PS4 and then the PS3.
What about Last of Us?
Minus the multiplayer.
Well, what if that's what they're going to talk about is maybe the Last of Us multiplayer? Maybe.
No, they've said that the multiplayer game is still like a year or two out, so I don't think they'll. They did that at the last. What was that? Whatever the last one was, where they had Joel and Ellie, the actual actors, on their.
God, what was that?
Yeah, that was. I don't know what that was. I think it was a state of play, and I just kind of like tuned out after that. But yeah. We'll see what happens. I couldn't really get into Zelda because I wasn't feeling sitting through, I think you said 100 hours of gameplay. I don't blame you, or 90 hours of playthrough. I like games like that very much. I just have the squirrel syndrome in them. Like when I played Skyrim, yes. I was level 75 before I beat the first dragon. So I'm not paying $70 for the PS5 remake. I've already dumped on it for the price. I keep lowering my expectations for Factions in part 2 of the series because they never came out with Factions. Well, they're making a whole separate game for multiplayer, and that's going to be out in a year or two. And if it's based on the first one, because man, I friggin' loved Factions. That was one of the best multiplayer experiences I think I've ever had.
Yeah, and it's really good.
It's really good. And if it was in this game, the PS5 remake that's out now, I would probably have actually bought it. But because it didn't, even though it's like a phenomenal game and I love it, I just couldn't justify buying it again for another full price game.
For full price too, man. That's dirty. I mean, I just, especially when they've done this in the past during PS3 and PS4 when they were putting out those remakes, they were coming out at $39, $49. So it's just like telling me $70. Come on.
What's wrong?
You can see it, Joe, on our screen, by the way. That way we don't have to worry about syncing or anything.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's see what they open. Oh, Tekken 8. Jin versus Kazuya.
Fight!
Wow, there was no transition in that whatsoever.
Nope.
Trash Panda, what's up, my man? Welcome in. As long as they bring June back, I have no problems playing it again.
Yeah. I can't believe this is... This looks beautiful. I mean, if this is actually what the game looks like.
It sure looks like gameplay to me. Minus the HUD. just say Hadouken.
Sounded like it.
It should have been a Dragon Punch. But... Oh, nice. I'm here for it. Oh, no release date. But still, I'm here for Tekken 8.
It's official. Tekken 8 is coming to the PlayStation 5 console courtesy of our battle-hardened friends at Bandai Namco Entertainment. Now, let's check in on 2 games in development for PlayStation VR 2.
That was quick. I thought we would be a little farther back, but...
The story I was telling, it was about a certain droid repair tech who had no business getting into this kind of trouble. But there they were, standing against evil wherever it popped up.
I think there are a few new items on the shelves that might catch your eye.
The
Oh
locals
boy.
can be a little rough on tourists, but it's nothing you can't handle.
The first order on Batu.
I will say that
count on you now.
LucasArts has been very smart.
Oh, hello, my friend.
LucasArts has been very smart in that they've really kind of let the first round figure out what the best gameplay systems are in the space, and then they steal them all to put into their Star Wars games. So
Yeah.
that's a smart move.
Ready for battle.
Oh, yes,
VR.
please.
Yeah.
I have this game on PC. I'm actually a little surprised.
Taste my steel.
I call lightning!
The only problem is I don't think you could play by yourself.
Go back to the abyss.
Oh, at all?
It was like it did require multiplayer previously, so I don't know
Gotcha.
if they fixed that or added, I should say. Yeah, DeMeo. Nice. I mean, that game is super fun. So and that's a great social. I mean, get everybody around a board and play.
Demeo brings the creativity and chaos of a tabletop RPG to PSVR 2. This next game is being rebuilt from the ground up and will be available outside of Japan for the first time.
Yeah, maybe.
It's gotta be Yakuza.
Has to be. I mean, I don't know what else it could be. What else does Sega do except for Yakuza?
But I don't get the... I guess we're getting a full-on Edo period Yakuza game.
Is it a fighting game?
It is. It is and it is not. It is of many different kinds of games in one.
Does it have a story?
It has a story, yes.
Too much of a story, some would say.
Yeah, like a dragon in Ishin. All right. Hogwarts?
Hello, Madam Mason. I understand you have a shop to sell.
I think you will find my terms quite generous.
What's the catch?
You are wise to be wary.
Why is your mistress selling the shop?
She has had rotten bad luck with the last few tenants.
those who came before you just could not seem to escape the darkness. Will you?
I mean, I do like the fact that it looks like this is going to have some really dark elements in it, as opposed to just being...
Watch your step.
I'm excited.
You're excited about that? Yeah. I just wish it had multiplayer. Oh, PlayStation exclusive quest. You can only play that on PlayStation. That's kind of cool.
Wow.
It's a whole dungeon. February 10th is not far. See, that I think you're right, Joe. I mean, look, that game comes out in February and it's already starting to amp up. And where's the God of War? I just feel like it's going to get pushed again. This does not look familiar.
Zombie game.
Oh, could it be?
Is a sequel to what's it called?
Yeah. Days Gone 2.
There's your AAA title if it is.
Yep.
Warning. An instability front is approaching. Take immediate shelter in a stabilized area. Locations impacted include sectors...
No. VR game, maybe?
Looks like it.
So it's a first person?
Almost all VR is going to be first person. Station wagon, the extreme. Yeah, Maeve, it does look like a first-person driving horror game. I mean,
this is ticking a lot of boxes.
It is actually pretty interesting. Oh no! That is exactly what it is.
All these years. Call her now.
All right.
So it's a VR game?
It's a VR horror driving game. And you got the wood panel station wagon.
Survive a ride from hell in Pacific Drive. Debut game from Ironwood Studio.
It's not VR.
Up next, let's check in
It's
on
not
PlayStation
VR?
Stars.
So it's a first
loyalty
person.
program
Yeah, it's
rolling
first
out
person.
soon.
Yeah, it's just first person. The aspect seemed kind of off when they were transitioning to the car to the...
Hi everyone, I'm Grace Chen. Not long ago, we announced our brand new loyalty program called PlayStation Stars. It's designed to celebrate you, the players. It will be free to join PlayStation Stars. As a member, you can complete various activities to earn points that can be redeemed for rewards. Digital collectibles are a highlight of the program. These are digital representations of things that PlayStation fans love. Today, I'm pleased to give you a sneak peek at some examples of our digital collectibles. Whether it's a beloved game character or a cherished device from Sony's innovative history,
Please have a mini disc
there will
player.
always be something new to collect and show off to your friends.
What do I do with that?
Nothing.
And
the
I have more
NFTs,
good news.
but they have no
PlayStation
value.
Stars will begin to roll out
But I mean,
in some
do I
regions
display them
late
somewhere on my
starting in
PlayStation?
late
Do
September.
I mean, what
It
is...
will launch in the Americas and Europe in the weeks that follow. That's it for now. Check PlayStation blog to learn more about PlayStation Stars.
Yeah, kind of like that, Maves. I signed up for the beta program and there's been like zero movement or anything. Oh yeah? Tell me more. Oh, you lost me at an anime game. Pretty much.
Maeve's with all the hot takes here
Yeah,
today.
Maeve has all the hot takes. Oh, except there is actual fight. I don't know. This actually looks like it'd be right up Matt's alley.
Oh, yes, 100%.
He loves him some Mech Gundam suit kind of things. And actually, I do too. Oh, I've actually heard of this. Hi, Soda.
I don't know how I feel about that.
You don't know how you feel about that?
No.
These next two intense action games are PS5 console exclusives. Let's take a look.
All right. I like action games.
그날은 갑자기 찾아왔지.
Your brain's hanging out.
그놈들은 무자비했고
Get him a hat or something.
No, you're fine, Maves. We do that kind of stuff all the time. You're more than welcome here. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, please keep on keeping on. It's awesome.
자이오니아, 버려진 자들의 도시지. 전성기에는 10만 명 이상이 살았던 곳이야.
황무지 아래 건설한 도시라니.
Suddenly I'm getting Matrix vibes from this.
여긴 무덤인 건가요?
아니, 이곳의 주민들은 에너지 고갈로 잠들어 있는 거야. 이대로 간다면 영원한 어둠뿐이지. 이봐, 우리를 도와줘.
조심해! 리스팅되지 않은 네이트고야. 아담, 뒤로 물러나.
Native? Okay. I like the distance of the camera. Maeve says a lot of anime games this year, and I'm definitely sure her character is 25. Yeah, I agree.
그 손길이 닿은 적은 없어. 모두 버려진 거야.
그건 신상 모독이에요. 릴리, 부탁해. 난 이러기 위해.
When I see trailers like this, I just look at the fact that that guy could have taken off his mask to talk to her and be understandable before that moment, and chose not to.
고용의 천사여, 이번에는 우리를 구원할 수 있겠는가?
I mean, the aesthetic is super cool. Oh, so this is the final of Project Eve. Okay. Stellar Blade.
Okay.
I mean, sure. I like beat 'em ups as much as the next person. I mean, not beat 'em ups, but you know what I mean.
It's like Devil May
ARPGs.
Crazy. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down for. I really feel like Sony needs to share Naughty Dog and Sucker Punch's mastery of the PS5 with other devs.
After 3 centuries of the Tokugawa's repressive rule, the black ships appeared without warning, and our nation began to tear itself apart. Those who cleave to the past, those who embrace the new, and the Ronin, a warrior free of all masters and bonds.
Oh, is this Assassin's Creed? No,
It's
Team
Koei
Ninja.
Tecmo.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Team Ninja. No.
As your
really
blades
pretty.
carve a new future.
It is, but how do I say this? It could be better. There are parts that look really good, and then you see the people.
Your time has come. Rise as one.
Rise of the Ronin from Team Ninja. The fighting mechanics should be super solid, so sure, I'm good with it. I'm right there with you, Maves. I'm hoping Division Homeland or Heartland is good.
Experience an era of great change and upheaval in Rise of the Ronin, a sprawling action RPG from Team Ninja. Before we wrap up, we've got one more update for you.
That's about as long as I thought it was going to go.
Oh, and one more thing. Got him more. There it is.
Gonna take on Fenrir, are you?
Oh, it's a console.
It's a controller.
Their controller. Oh, that's pretty.
Very pretty.
And it's blue, so Dave will want it.
I want that.
Yeah, that is pretty.
And that's it.
That's it?
Oh, no, okay, good. I was gonna be like, you can't do that, and then
Everyone keeps secrets. Sometimes it's the only way to protect the ones we love.
I'm still so mad somebody ruined that game for me.
I know you. God Killer.
What is it you want from me? Is it a god of war you came to find?
Well, I hope that's not the case, Maves. I mean, I'm hoping for like, 70, 80 bucks.
All that blood on your hands, on your son's hands.
What is it you will not tell me?
I can't talk about it, but I just need you to trust me.
We follow your every whim.
But you don't believe in any of it.
And still I follow. Because all that matters is that you are safe.
But that's not all that matters. Who's keeping you safe?
I do not need you to protect me.
You sure about that?
Pretender God! For the old father!
Death can have me when it earns me.
That is a line.
What do you even know of God's word? In your lifetimes, has anyone ever worshipped you? Ever prayed to you? Can you even imagine that kind of love? No! You don't care about anything beyond yourself.
Oh,
Beyond the
interesting.
monster who kills without cause.
It looks like they've replaced the standard press A in the QuickTime scenes with runes that you'll have to memorize. That's actually pretty smart.
Fate only binds you if you let it.
Oh, that looks so cool.
Do what is necessary. Not because it is written. We will make our own destiny.
Love it.
Oh, it's coming up.
It's
Soon.
November 9th.
Yeah.
And that's the show. God of War
That's it.
Ragnarok comes to PS5 at
That's
PS4
That's
on
it.
November 9th.
I thought it'd
See
be
you
like
next
an
time.
hour.
No. 20 minutes tops. That's generally the case. I think they want 21 minutes this time. 22 minutes.
I tell you what, these guys always have the best the graphics.
Oh yeah. Their graphics team is
they're
top-notch.
awesome.
So, I mean, that's your moving date, November 9th. I am so sorry. because that means you're going to be moving, not playing God of War the night before. I mean, good conference, a little bit of indie stuff in there with that driving game. We got a look at one PSVR. I would have thought we would have gotten more. But that tells me that I think they're still not wanting to tip their hat until Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, I mean that is a real bona fide. Or no, have they confirmed that they will be at Tokyo Game Show? Because I mean,
thought they had. We can look that up real quick. Is Sony at TGS 2022? No, they said state of play. No, I guess they're not. They are absent from the Tokyo Game Show 2022. Well, if that's the case, then I expected that to be a lot longer, to be honest.
Unless they go and they do another one or something. They will more than likely do another state of play sometime around. Well, I mean, when is Tokyo Game Show? The next couple of weeks?
No, it's like this week, I think.
Oh, so that makes sense then. I mean, with their Koei Tecmo Team Ninja announcement and that Devil May Cry game, and I mean, it was very Japanese.
It was Japanese centric, yeah. Yeah, it starts on Thursday and ends on Sunday.
Okay, so that's probably this is probably their offerings for Tokyo Game Show. They'll probably let I would imagine they'll probably let third party guys do other announcements, because I mean, most of the stuff that's coming out is going to be multi-platform anyway, so why not?
Sure.
Stuff, like your exclusives and stuff here when you have a captive audience, and then Tokyo Game Show, let the third parties talk about whatever they want to talk about.
Yeah. Not much. I hate to say it, but this holiday season is probably the weakest holiday season lineup we've had in over 15, 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to get excited about. I mean, other than Pokemon, there's not really anything huge coming from Nintendo over Christmas. Zelda's not coming until 2023, right?
Zelda's not coming till 2023.
And then
you've got third-party stuff like Harvestella, but again, that's now. That's not even. I don't even think that considers. I think Halloween's the start of the holiday game season.
Right.
So,
and then, I mean, Sony's got God of War, and then Microsoft has nothing still. I mean, we're still waiting on Microsoft to put a game out, but or fix Halo or something like that. But
fix what game? I'm kidding.
But yeah, so I would agree with you. I think we're still feeling a little bit of the old COVID catch up. I think a lot of people are, now that I think that's probably part of it. But yeah, I mean, kind of like what I said at the beginning, where it was like, it's probably going to be pretty disappointing. I mean, I think, yes, I'm super excited about God of War. I'm really excited about that controller. But everything else kind of like meh.
Yeah.
I'm kind of meh on everything there. I am super excited for Harry Potter. I mean, political, all that stuff aside, the game itself has really.
I feel
someone who was
I feel really bad for the devs because they didn't ask for any of this.
Right.
And
absolutely.
They just keep getting inundated and caught up in the story. So that's sad because they've obviously put a lot of work into it. I still need to know a little bit more about what the gameplay of that game is.
Mm-hmm.
Because from what I'm seeing of it, it's almost a little bit Devil May Cry-ish in certain ways for certain things in the combat system. And I don't know, it's just really... I'm not sure what you do the rest of the time, I guess is the short form.
Yeah, I mean, because it feels like it's got a little bit of RPG elements to it, like where you're wandering around doing things for people and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, they're like, well, there will definitely be killing curses, and you'll go to classes, and things like that. And you're like, okay. I mean, I'm down for all of that. And like you said, the look and the aesthetic of it, it looks kind of dark. It's kind of like the last 2 or 3 books of the Harry Potter series, dark, where it's just like, there's some bad stuff going on.
Yep. And I would be very down for them to acknowledge that and actually, have some things that are not happy endings in there. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to see that game. I mean, the rest of it, I hate to say it, but there was nothing earth shattering on that list. The Tokyo Drift horror game, as Maeve put out, that's like, that's my one indie representation on the list. They got the quirky weird game into the presentation, but that's not like something that I'm gonna be like, bated breath, I must wait till that launches. But yeah, it was an interesting. I mean, I don't think it was a bad thing, but at the same time, I would have thought they would have had something else to give us, and I don't know what it would have been, but we definitely didn't get any Wolverine footage, that's for sure. So that tells me that it's probably at least two years out still.
Well, I wonder if I don't know. I'm wondering if like they're just because it seemed really bizarre that Nintendo was like, "Hey, state of play," and then all of a sudden, like literally, like a couple of hours later, it was like, or I'm sorry, Nintendo Direct, and then a couple hours later, Sony was like, "Hey, state of play." It was just like out of nowhere. It's really weird that they have them on the same day. I mean, that was the whole purpose of people getting away from these conferences like E3 was so that they could have, the mind share all to themselves. And so it's like, why would they both have, big conferences mere minutes apart, hours apart from each other?
Let's look at the Breath of the Wild because we have not watched it yet.
Yeah,
so we'll look at this real quick here because this was, of course, the big news coming out of the Nintendo Direct. Which I actually beat the first one, which is a rarity for me, unless I'm reviewing it. All of like 12 seconds of gameplay footage. Got it. And I do have to wonder, now that Genshin is a thing and out, now that Tower of Fantasy is a thing and out, will this affect their sales for the sequel at all? Probably not, because it's on the Switch, but I just don't know.
I am mortified by that trailer. That trailer terrifies me because it to me it looks like what's the Mario games? Is it Sunshine? No. What's the one where you're traveling from little like planet to asteroid and stuff like that?
Brain.
They made 2 of them. Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy.
As soon as I started to type it, I'm like, Galaxy. Duh.
It looks like you're just doing stuff in little enclosed areas, and then you float on a leaf or whatever to the next thing. That does not interest me at all. Yeah.
And then this dropped 7 hours ago as well, which I have not watched, which is the Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion launch date trailer.
Okay.
Come and get it! Hey!
Now, every time I hear one of those, I think of the chick that got cast as Aerith, because they were so amazed that she just started ad-libbing those because she knew she needed to, because she played all the games. I mean, I'm sad that there's nothing new in this, right? But at the same time, I'm glad it's getting an official launch on stuff, because a lot of people never played it because it was only on the PSP.
My friend, your desire is the bringer of life, the gift of the goddess.
You're a little more important than my sword. But just a little.
A soldier trademark.
Oh, you.
Color of the sky, right?
But not scary at all.
Good news, Song. Me and... Cloud.
It means Angeal has betrayed us as well.
And Jill wouldn't betray us. Never!
If people had wings, they'd be monsters.
Wings, they don't symbolize monsters.
Your glory should have been mine.
How petty.
In hindsight, perhaps.
What the hell did you do, Angeal?
Well, look who's here.
Depending on what happens, I may abandon Shinra.
Angels dream of one thing.
Please, tell me.
To be human.
Oh, maybe
Legend shall speak
this is the exact dub
of
they had in the
sacrifice
original game.
At world's
Like, they
end.
haven't changed any of that. So, all they did is up-res the graphics. I don't even think they changed anything about the combat system. December 13th. So they're really cutting it close to the end of the year. If people had wings, we'd be monsters. Black. Yep. I mean, Crisis Core is not known for its phenomenally great.
I you know what though? I will never. I will keep my mouth shut about. So just so I remember. So Crisis Core is the prequel to everything Final Fantasy VII. Is that correct?
Correct. Well, yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to think if like some of the Advent Children stuff was a flashback that fell in before it, but I think that
game wise though.
Yes,
I
game wise it is. It literally is the lead in.
Okay.
Which is really the first time that Square Enix had gone back and done something like that post the launch of Final Fantasy VII. But yeah, it's a phenomenal. How do I say this? It's a phenomenal game that has a much better second half than the first half. The first half, the pacing is a little uneven. It's a little slow at points. You're getting used to the combat system and the wheel and all that stuff. But by the time you hit the second half, even with the cheesy voice acting, it really picks up and it becomes a really good story. And for a lot of people, Zack became more of a favorite than Cloud because of this game.
I could see that, yeah.
And
I can't speak ill will of Final. I mean, we've had plenty over the what 10, 15, 20 years we've been doing this.
Yep.
I've had plenty of choice words for Final Fantasy VII, but after that remake, I can't. I'll hold expectations till I play the game, and I actually will. I wish. I mean, I appreciate that they're giving us this because otherwise I would still not care for Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish there was like, and I'm sure there will be eventually, but I wish there was just like a package, like all in one. This is everything that you need, so I can start from the beginning and go to the end. I wish that was there because
I'm sure it will be
because
and it will start
because
out
now we've
priced
got
at $199.99.
Oh,
and
I'm
then
sure.
we'll have to wait 6 years for it to go on sale. But yes,
Yeah. Because I mean, we got the game, which was fantastic. It was great. It totally changed my entire mind about the game. But then you had the little DLC things that they've been doing, and then now you have this, and part 2 we'll get someday. You know, maybe when the PlayStation 7 comes out. I don't know.
No.
But
Part 2 is coming next year, according to them. The Crisis Core was this year to tide us over, and to which this is smart for them to release it now, since they're. And I don't want to get too far into spoilers for Final Fantasy VII Remake, since there are things you need to know that tie in directly from this story.
Yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's very fair.
So this gives us the bridge to play this for a year until part 2 comes out next year.
Gotcha.
And I'm super jazzed. I mean, do I think it could slip? Maybe, but they seemed pretty. They in a lot of the talks with the head of development, he was like, the game's pretty much done. So we just need to, finish a couple tweaks and a couple things, but it should be out next year. This, however, is still in active, or had been in active development until just recently. I think it was 2 months ago. They said they were getting close to gold, which means that they did this probably on a much shorter crunch scale. Realizing, hey, there's an opportunity here, and let's do this to tide people over, so that we're not just saying, hey, you got to wait a year. Sorry, guys, but here's this game that you can enjoy till then. And the fact that it's basically just a redesign of the graphics, but it's sitting on top of the bones of the original game, like the voice acting, the animations, all of it is exactly the same. Game mechanics are exactly the same. Probably just meant they needed to port it, polish it, and out the door you go. But
smack it, flip it, rub it down. Oh no.
Mm-hmm. You just almost instinctively continued with that. Tekken 8, I mean, we didn't get any real gameplay. I mean, we got stuff with the HUD removed, and we know there's 2 characters. Now it'll be that thing where they take the next 17 months really revealing
drip,
one person at a time. It's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, Mortal Kombat does the same thing, and so
So does Street Fighter.
And exactly, and I mean, we know exactly. I mean, I would think we know exactly who we're going to get, but I mean, who knows? I mean, it's up in the air. Plus, it'd be exciting. I am actually really excited to see how they look in PS5 splendor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, say what you will, that trailer
was amazing.
Oof, oof, beautiful.
So that will be interesting. We'll see what comes out of Tokyo Game Show this week. Lexi, was there anything that really caught your eye?
The Harry Potter thing.
The Harry Potter game? Yeah. Well, that's coming February, and it's a single-player game, so there's that. I really wish it was multiplayer. But yeah, that's really it. It was a little short conference, but I wanted to make sure we covered it, simply in case there was something super cool that came out of it. We got a couple nice announcements. Tekken 8, we got God of War with an official date. I fully expect that we're going to see a ton of coverage, maybe from something playable, come out of TGS now. To hype that up. So, what was your favorite game of the presser, Joe?
The God of War controller.
Oh, I did like that.
Fair.
I'm with Lexi. I really like. I am so closetedly excited about the Harry Potter game. I want that game to be amazing and awesome. I mean, God of War, absolutely. I think God of War. I would be absolutely surprised if it sucked. I would just be. I mean, it would just take just some gross negligence for God of War to be a bad game. But as far as just like, oh gosh, I wonder what's going to happen there. Harry Potter's kind of always been, for this past year or so here, as they've been slowly amping it up, it's been one of those games where I had my eye on it, but not too much because I didn't want to get too invested in it. But yeah, I'm starting. The hype is starting to build now.
I'm actually the reason that I'm cautiously optimistic is because Portkey Games are the people that did the mobile game. And so this is, to my knowledge, this is their first AAA game. And so I'm a little worried about it, but at the same time, it's like they have a lot of help because Sony's pretty collaborative in that way. If they wanted to reach out to other people to say, how did you do this? They usually are pretty good about that stuff. So
and I mean, it's kind of telling too, because I mean, and I know Sony's been getting a lot of heat for it online, but to have a game that's multi-platform in this day and age, I guess, if you want to say it like that, but to have a multi-platform game that has because I mean, what they've got an extra level.
You cut out for a second.
Oh, that has console exclusives. I mean, aren't they releasing it earlier on PlayStation? And there's that mission.
Yeah, there's definitely the mission. I don't know if it's launching earlier.
I thought they were doing something else. There's some other PlayStation exclusives, but to have that, I mean, aside from Call of Duty, you typically don't see that very much anymore, I guess, where it's just like, only on PlayStation.
I mean, does it count that Call of Duty may be an Xbox exclusive in its entirety in a few years?
I mean, there's all that drama that's going on. Have you read about all that drama that went on?
Yeah, I mean, bits and pieces. I haven't really dug too much into it because I'm not a Call of Duty person. So but I should, from a journalistic standpoint, I should know what's going on, and I don't.
Essentially, the gist of it is, what's his face from Microsoft was like, "Oh, we're going to let PlayStation have
the next couple of years." Yeah.
But then, I guess just yesterday, head of Sony was like, "Yeah, just so y'all know, it wasn't that good of a deal. It was only 3 years." And so he just basically outed him and was like, "It's 3 years," and then they're going exclusive with it.
Mm-hmm.
So get your Call of Duty in on PlayStation now, I guess.
I mean,
but yeah, and Jim Ryan was like, "This isn't acceptable." You know, he's like, to take a game that sells this many copies and then relegate it to just one console. He's like, they put out an olive branch and, we came back with weeds, essentially, is how is what he was saying.
Well, and apparently that Hogwarts Legacy PlayStation exclusive Quest was confirmed at the end of August, and people have been in an uproar for a while now. But I'm not seeing anything beyond the Quest.
Okay.
Yeah,
It made it seem like it was a lot of PlayStation exclusivity type stuff.
I mean,
it's just
a full dungeon, and depending how that affects leveling up and gameplay, how that. I mean, again, we don't know anything about those systems, so it's kind of all speculation. But I mean, yeah, I can see why people would be upset for sure. But yeah,
especially since Sony has spent all this time over the past 7-10 years making Call of Duty kind of like its home on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Now to have that up and be like, yeah, about that, especially when Xbox doesn't even sell consoles. I mean, Xbox doesn't want to sell consoles; they want to sell Game Pass. So, whatever. It is what it is. That's for a different podcast.
Well, I think that we're going to put a bow in this. Thank you, Joe, for joining us. Thank you, Lexi, for joining us. Thank you, Maeve, for wheezing. I hope you're all right, because you stopped talking after you said send help. So hopefully you didn't actually die.
I know. I'm going to feel really bad.
Yeah, it would be our first confirmed death. We have a couple unconfirmed ones, but this would be our first confirmed death. So just type at us if you're not dead. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually raid out to Shipping Salt, who's a good friend of the show. We'll be meeting up with her at TwitchCon, but we're going to shoot this over. I'm not even going to do all the normal stuff, but we'll be back tonight at about 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 Central, 10 Eastern for Escape from Tarkov Tuesday. So feel free to join us then. Until then, be excellent to each other. Have an excellent day, and game on.
Game on.
Bye.
And I'm like,